So, how do we manage stress when things seem to be spiraling out of control? This is a big question and a really important one for us here in this group. We're moms, we have kids with special needs, we're trying to be healthy, and this stress factor is huge. It's enormous for us, I think more so than most people in the world. And so we need to talk about this because when we are dealing with so many different factors that can come up in our life and stress and things feel out of control, it's very easy in those moments to experiencing these two things that I'm going to talk to you about today, where our stress hormones go way up and our self-care goes way down. And this is really damaging to our health and can have some serious long-term impacts as well. So let me know if you're here in this group, if you're like me, and the things that give you the most anxiety and the most stress are things that you can't control. I am a control freak. And I think all of us, like, stress comes from different things. Obviously, stress comes from us not feeling safe. And part of that for me is feeling out of control. When you've been through traumatic events at any point in your life, often an outcome of that is this real need to feel control over your environment, over everything that's happening around you, because that's what makes you feel safe, right? So it can come out as like perfectionism. It can come out as, trying to, keep everything orderly in your house or whatever. I have to know, I have to have a plan, I have to have everything lined up. Otherwise, my anxiety is going to shoot through the roof. And I think, too, this is, and you can let me know, like, you let me know in the comments here, like, what your triggers are as far as your stress. But the reality is, like, there's just so much that we can't control. There's so much that we can't control in our life. And when we allow all of the things that will happen, whether it's a letter from your child's school or a phone call from your child's school that they just, threw a box or shattered, something on a kid's head, or, a letter that your child is like no longer going to be accepted in this program, or their transportation has all of a sudden dropped off the face of the earth, or it's a call from a doctor like, hey, we're seeing these really concerning things, or it looks like your child's going to need another procedure. Like, fill in the blank. The therapist is like, we've really been working on this and we're just not seeing any progress in this area. These things, not to mention all of the other uncontrollable stressors in our life, right? Job, money, house, marriage, family, all of that. But these things, when they come, because they will surely happen, will impact your stress. That's just how it's going to happen. It's hard. But when we have an awareness of this one thing that I'm going to share with you, we can come out of that in an okay place, right? So what's made a big difference for me is understanding and really grappling with, like, what are the things that I can control and what are the things that I cannot control. Because if you have a false sense of control, like trying to control your kids or trying to like control your environment and other people and the school, like how your kid's progressing, all of that stuff, if you give yourself a false sense of control over those things, you can worry yourself sick over trying to fix the unfixable or trying to control the uncontrollable. And this is where anxiety a lot of the times comes out, and just like chronic worry, like I can't sleep at night, I feel tension in my body all the time. And also, like, mentally, like, not being present in the moment. If you really struggle with, like, thinking about the future and worrying about all of that, or and not being able to, like, actually be present, like, with your kids or your family, or what's going on in the moment, this is often a sign of that you are holding on to this false sense of control, that I can actually change that. And what's helped me, and what I talk to my clients a lot about in my programs when we're doing coaching sessions, and I hear this stuff come up, is coming back to, what are the things that you can actually control, truly? Because we do need to have a sense of control. We do. But what can you actually control? Because the answer to that, unfortunately, is quite small. And I laugh about that, but it's not funny, but like, we have this bubble around us, and this is our realm of control. It is right here. If you were to put a hula hoop around you, everything inside that hula hoop is what you genuinely have control over. It's you. It's you. It's the choices that you make. It's what you do with your body. It's what you do with your time. It's what you do with you. And so letting go of that false sense of control is really beneficial, because when that stuff comes, the two things that we talked about at the beginning, right? Your stress hormone, your cortisol levels go way up. They're firing like red flag warnings, and this hormone can wreak havoc in your body. And that's a conversation for another day, but we need to know that cortisol level goes up. That hormone is responsible for storing body fat, for cravings, for lack of sleep, for tension in your body, for gut health, for mental health. I mean, so much of what we deal with as moms comes back to this cortisol. And then for most of us, our self-care drops off of the map, because we are so consumed mentally about trying to fix and control everything else around us that we aren't focusing inside of our hula hoop, right? So it may be you're not sleeping as much, you stop drinking water, you stop eating, maybe you're skipping meals, and then you're just grabbing all the food. You're not giving yourself time to exercise and actually let out some of the stress that this hormone cortisol creates, this big energy in your body. And truly the greatest way to get that out is movement, exercise. You can run, you can jump, you can lift weights, you can dance, you can ride a bike, like, you can shake, but the movement is how we're going to release that. And so, this is that picture that I typically see when moms come into my world. My stress levels are really high and my self-care is really low. And then the symptoms of that are all the things that I talk about all the time. It's weight gain, it's cravings, it's low energy, it's mental, depression, anxiety, and mood swings, and just all of these symptoms that so many people are just like, well, I just need to fix these symptoms and then I'll be okay. Well, really, the root issue is not just as simple as, like, let's look at your nutrition and let's look at the type of exercise you're doing and let's look at stress management. Like, that does all help. But for me, and for a lot of people that I talk to, it's understanding and getting to that place where what I can control is me. What I can control is me. And so I am going to just let go of the constant worry and that constant barrage of, I need to fix all of these things out there. Yes, we put energy into trying to help our kids. Of course we do. Yes, we put energy into, all of these other things that are important in our life. But this is what I've found in my life, and over and over and over again with my clients, is that when we give ourselves permission to focus in on that hula hoop more and control this one thing that we truly have control over, which is taking care of yourself as a mom, your health, your well-being, your stress, your physical activity, your nourishment. When we do that, all of a sudden, the bigness and the overwhelmingness and the craziness of the stuff that's going to come doesn't feel so hard because we're grounded. We're grounded in this. And so I wanted to share this with you today because if you are someone who is here and you are in that place, just like what I talked about, your stress levels are high, your self-care is low, taking an honest look at, giving yourself permission to take care of what's inside of your hula hoop first. I call this the oxygen mask principle. You put your oxygen mask on first as a mom, because when you're nourished, when you've been able to do the things to release stress and are feeling in control of your hula hoop, you will be your best as a mom to help your kids, to work, to be a good wife, to do the things that you want to do. Okay? So if you're here and you're in that place and you are just feeling stuck, number one, know that you're not alone. Number two, know that it's not your fault, right? It's not a matter of willpower. A lot of the times what we truly need is accountability. We need support. We need help. And this is what I do. I offer different programs, different ways that I support moms through this. And so if you are curious about learning more about that, I just want to invite you to have a conversation with me. There's lots of different ways you can do that. I'm here most of the time pretty active in Facebook. You can post here on this live video or even send me a direct message and we can start a conversation about what's going on with you, so I can see if there's any way that I can help you move forward. But if you'd like to actually have a conversation, like a legit phone call, I do offer a free call, and I do this as a way just to help and serve and get you some clarity around what's going on with you, where do you want to be, what's keeping you stuck, and how can we move you forward. I call this the Healthy Mom Breakthrough Call because sometimes we just need that breakthrough of getting honest about where we're at, what's not working, and what we need to move forward. And when you have that breakthrough, it is just my favorite thing in the world to see moms start to take care of themselves and experience the benefits, right? And I've done this with dozens and dozens of moms. I just recently, in my 20-minute boost exercise program, got to check in with moms, and I had 17 moms in this program last month that exercised 21 days last week. It was amazing, and they feel amazing. They have better energy and they're in better moods, and they're messaging me with things like, I can't believe how good I feel waking up every day and doing something for me. And then my mom restore system as well. This is a real deep dive, high support program, and seeing these moms overcome and tackle these big issues like eating and feeding their family good food and managing stress. And when they come back to me and see not only the weight loss, but they've got better energy and they just feel more capable at work and they just feel on, this is the stuff that I love, and I would love to do that for you too. So I'm gonna pop a link here in the chat, so that if you want to book a call, if you're ready and you're like, yep, let's have that conversation, Megan, I know that I need that right now, let's do it. We'll talk. And it's zero pressure. Honestly, I do have programs, but they're not for everybody, and that's okay. And my policy here is just, I'm going to serve first because I know what it's like to be where you are. And what I needed at that moment was somebody to come in and speak some truth and help me out. And so I do this with no obligation at all. But if I can help you and the programs are a good fit, I'll certainly share what that looks like as I have space in my calendar to do that. I have a little bit right now, so that's why I'm putting this call out. So just don't stay stuck, right? This is the most important thing that I can say to you. If you're in that place, just don't stay stuck. You don't have to stay there, and you don't have to live every single day in that overwhelming place of, I haven't met my needs and I can't handle everything else that's going on around me, because I know that that's a terrible place to be, and there is a way out. Okay? So I hope I will chat with you soon. You guys have a really good week, and tomorrow we've got our Friday Fitness. We're doing a 10-minute leg workout, and this is going to be so great. Especially if you want to strengthen your legs, maybe you've got knee problems, you want to take care of your legs, and it's a little bit more than just looking good in your leggings, okay? There is that benefit from leg workouts, but there is so much more to legs that we're going to dig into and get you really feeling strong in your body. So I hope to see you tomorrow morning. Have a great rest of your day.